Bruno Bucciarrati is one of the most iconic characters from the now popular anime and manga series Jojo's Bizarre Adventure. In this video, I will explain why Bruno is my favorite character. Chapter 1. Naples, Italy. Fuck. Okay, so yeah, this was originally going to be what the video was going to be like, very essay-like and analytical, but then I realized that there's like a dozen other videos that already do that for Bruno alone, and I'm not saying that those videos are bad by any means. They're great, in fact. They're the reason why I even wanted to do a video on Bruno in the first place. However, it would just kind of be the same thing everyone else has said already. I'm not really adding too much by doing it that way. So, instead, I thought it would be more fun to just have the video formatted like this of me just geeking out, because, I mean, that's basically what the initial idea was in the first place. Just a more concentrated look and me trying to sound smart. And hopefully that forced opening didn't scare any viewers away. Anyways, if you've talked to me on a personal level for more than 3 days, you'll know that Bruno Bucciarrati is one of my favorite characters from pretty much anything, who also goes for being my absolute favorite in all of Jojo. You can write all your essays about Johnny, Valentine, and Kira. They're all cool, and I'll agree, but Bruno sits at the top forever. And quite frankly, my unbridled enjoyment for this character was indirectly influenced by another person, X-Force. I don't think I can do a Jojo video without bringing this guy up. It's getting a little weird, so let's keep it that way. When I was first getting into the series, right around the time that I finished, oh man, I'm gonna say part 2, and I was just starting part 3, I started watching Jojo related videos on YouTube. Though compared to how mainstream the series is now to then, there wasn't much Jojo entertainment to watch on YouTube in the year 2017 to 2018. But the two channels that stuck out were Caleb IA and X-Force, both amazing channels for not just Jojo, but for anime and manga material in general. X-Force videos are always a pleasure to watch, and I surprisingly found his second channel. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about this, but I mean, the video's public, so I'm just reporting what I see. I watched this simple chart-like video from him, which was him just going over his favorite things within the series. A lot of Part 7 and Part 5 centric stuff. And when it came to Vento Arreo specifically, it was all Bruno related. But it wasn't just from that video. His liking of Bruno was all over the place on his main channel. His intro was of a zipper opening up with one of Bucciarrati's battle themes playing. A handful of his Versus series had Bruno as a veteran fighter compared to most, and straight up just said that Sticky Fingers was his favorite stand. Now, of course, I don't ultimately speak for this man, so his opinions have probably changed over the years of making those videos. Nothing wrong with that. Though from my viewpoint, by that point of starting to get into the series, my thoughts are, okay, if this guy who knows a lot about the series says this character is cool, then it must be true. Don't you just love that sort of logic? Now, one thing you could be thinking is, wait, hold on. From watching these videos, weren't you spoiling yourself left and right? Honestly, yeah, I kinda was. But that's the pessimistic side speaking for most people. The way I see it is with optimism, because it makes me think, oh, this cool thing that's later in the series is something I have to look forward to. That's nice, and if I happen to like the trip to get there, that's also good. Trust me, I did the same thing for some of the more intense scenes in JJK, and they still ended up being my favorite fights and moments, despite knowing what happened. Anywho, as I finished part 4, I was like everyone else now, waiting for part 5's anime to drop, but that would be for quite some time, so I decided to get a head start on reading the manga after waiting a while, and from seeing the things that Bucciarrati did in his first fight against Giorno, I liked it. But the anime got announced soon after that, so I stopped right when Giorno met the gang and just saved the rest for the anime, and would just compare the anime and manga as the episodes would go out. And as I watched it, I pretty much loved everything that Bruno did, mostly from the fact of how most people like to say is that Bruno acts more like a main and dynamic character compared to the Joestar of said part. His beliefs, his motives, the way the story puts him in the spotlight more than the other gang members. How can you not like him? The moment that sealed the deal for me was the Grateful Dead fight. Straight up, favorite fight from all of the parts in like the whole series. And you know a big reason why now. Bucciarrati basically does a 1v2. That's awesome alone. But everything he does is just so damn wicked. This dude is about to get punched in the head from a strong attack, and out of anything Bruno could do to retaliate, anything, literally anything. If you haven't seen this fight, what do you think he would do? Would he dodge to the left, the right? Would he block it with his hand? You can't technically do that. So what does he do? He unzips his head so the punch goes right through him, and then he counterattacks. Lower your volumes, for I'm about to bust. He went from, oh wow, this guy is pretty cool, to, oh my god, he's so fucking cool! And then he says the slickest line ever and was willing to jump off a speeding train to kill one guy with him. And that was only halfway through this fight. And it immediately follows up with him not trying to get one-shotted, cuts his own heart in half, puts it back together, and then beats the shit out of this dude with the hottest one-liner. Props to both voice actors of Bruno. Yuichi Nakamura, I hope I'm saying that right, for the rush and Rage Chase for the rawest line in the dub. It's so awesome.
I can tell you've lived life as the eternal screw-up. Don't change on my account.
アリーベ・デルチ
And regardless of him fitting the role of Jojo, this means he's on a lot of time. He's gonna die, but the best part about him is that he straight up dies, but then says, actually, no, I'm gonna go to heaven when I feel like it. How about that? That's a baller move. This man wanted to stick around till the job was done. And speaking of sticking around, his stand. Sticky fingers. Get it? 'Cause stick? I'm gonna have to give that segue about a 6, maybe 7 out of 10. Sticky Fingers is the coolest stand because it's the embodiment of what Araki's frame of mind is like. He really looked at an album cover, saw a zipper on it, and said, I can make a power out of this. Who thinks like that? And he does this all the time, apparently. It's crazy. Next thing you're telling me is that he looked at shaving cream and made an ability out of that, too. Wait a minute. Sticky Fingers has such a kick-ass design and simple ability when you say it's just zippers. You wouldn't think that would work, or how could that be threatening? But Bucciarrati makes it work in every way imaginable. Go through any wall or floor, technically create pocket dimensions when placing a zipper, detach and reattach anything, or punch really, really fast. That also works. And speaking of design, Bruno himself has such a charming look. So charming, in fact, that people have to question if he's not a girl just from a quick glance. Well, he's both, because he's both the team mom and dad. Though, the funniest thing about him, in terms of design, is that in the manga, he wears this, I'm just going to guess that it's this lingerie type thing, which leads into so many questions, but I'm not going to ask any one of them. In the anime, they just made it a tattoo. You'll see it in the scene where he reveals himself. And when he does so, I can also make the comment that this dude has drip. Bruno walked with the zipper aesthetic so others could run with it in later generations. His suit is so cool that it inspired my new profile picture. Yeah, this one right here. Quick shout out to the artist who did it. They're pretty cool. The jacket design is pretty nice. It's pretty slick. If only it was real. It is real! It's based off the real design. It's real. I'm real. It's truth. It's got more drip than a broken faucet. And yes, the sleeve does come off, with my arm included. It's a real pain to get back on, though. But, yeah, alright. I think you get the idea. Bruno is a triple S tier character. Amazing man with fitting, believable motive and great dynamic with every member of the gang. Has the best fight in the whole series. Drippy design with a drippy stand, with said stand being awesome, and the coolest one-liners that there ever could be. How can you not like this dude? For all the people who say, I didn't really get into part 5 all that much. Weak. Silence. You do not know the truth of this world. I'm probably gonna get cut off by this. I really like Bruno. This was a really unhinged video that I really felt like doing because, you know, again, I think the idea of, oh, let me just make this an essay type style is getting a little boring because I've done that like 5 to 6 times in a row now, and I'm gonna have to do it again for like the rest of the summer. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. You know what to do with all the links that I provide and everything of the sort. Thank you for watching. That's greatly appreciated, of course. Have a great day, have a great night, and everything else you know what to do. Arrivederci.